Hello and welcome to What Maps, the map review show for Cities Skylines. There are tens of thousands of maps in the workshop now, and so finding the right one for your next build is a huge task. So each day, Monday to Saturday, we'll review one, using our 5-star rating for aesthetics, detail and gameplay potential, awarding only the very best the coveted seal of approval. So join me, fellow Skylines explorers, as we venture to today's new land. Who am I? I'm BonBonB, and you are very, very welcome.
Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to Friday's What Map. BonBon here. How are you doing? Well, only a couple of What Map days now before Christmas, so let's hope we can get a good one in. It is a creator request as it's a Friday, and this is a new release. It's Uux Kotlin by PMD, who we've had before, and there is a lot to live up to. Do you remember Tuscany back in, episode 150? Got triple 5 stars? Well, yes, same creator. So hang on to your hats, this could be an absolute stonker of a map. There is your resources. Not too much to comment there, to be honest with you. And now the Steam Workshop. You are going to need mass transit, but when we scroll down, if you have a look on the right hand side, unlimited trees mod, but no other required items. However, there is a collection. We'll get to that in a second. Don't forget left-hand drive in the UK, so don't forget to switch that on if you want to play this map authentically. Into the collection, you're going to need, there's a few bridges and a few trees. There's Owl's alternative Mediterranean theme, which we'll be using today, and a few other little props, etc. Limited trees we talked about. Now, Owl's Cinematic HD Old, I couldn't find that, even though I'm subscribed, I couldn't find that listed under that title. So after much skinning around in the LUT listing, I've chosen Owl's, it's a retro, it's the nearest I could find to match the screenshots. Hopefully it's the correct one. But I spent a few minutes trying these ones out. I couldn't find one that would be an exact match, which is very strange. I don't know. Anyway, first intersection, beautifully done. Look at these blocks pushing up this nice detailing, and we're going to expect nice detailing. Now, if you were to take a left, we're going on national roads, waving around down this peninsula as well. So remember the wavy road. That's all you need to do for now. Remember that. And then if we jump across here, we will get to this bridge. Now, I think this might be overkill, okay? It's obviously just bridging a slight gap in the terrain. And I think that would, especially Uux in Scotland, I think that'd probably be a bit much. I mean, to be fair, some artistic license has been taken with this map. There isn't this degree of motorway network on Uux. There's nice sweeping intersection. We do like these. Now I actually have got a little bit of history with the Hebrides, which is the couple of island groups off of the coast of Scotland, of which Skye is part of. Bit glitching in the middle of the highways there. Not keen on that, to be honest with you. Beautifully done bridge. Beautifully done bridge. Yes, for a couple of years in my childhood, nice detailing under the bridge there. I actually used to live in the Hebrides. Long time ago. Everything was in black and white and you needed a license to own a dog. That's how long ago it was. So anyway, glitching down the centre of the highways here, I would have preferred them either slightly further apart or slightly closer together. Rail over road, and that's okay because you can hardly notice it, to be honest with you. Thank you very much for some excellent work there. So on with the highways. So yes, artistic license has been taken. I think we've definitely worked with a terrain map here now, road over rail. Thank you. And then this intersection here. Now this intersection, it's nice. It's very pretty. And have a look at some of these. And here, like the blocks there. These pillars, very nice pillars. Good choices all around. And if you were to head left there, that is the windy wavy road. That's where it comes out if you follow that all the way along. Okay, follow me, followed it, got it. And then we'll go down and have a look at this bridge. Ooh, now this is a nice bridge. This is, I mean, having a proper bridge over a strait like that, that is very nice. Great choice. Very happy with that, and very nicely done, of course. And once again, nice detailing around the shoreline. We head into this intersection, And there's some, like I say, if you look at the glitching at the side of the roads, then that's no fault of the map creator. That's happening a lot to a lot of people at the moment, and nobody seems to have an answer just yet. It's just a shame. Now, if you head off that way, that takes you out to the fog, which is a long way over that way. Well, we're not going that way. We'll go this way because this will also lead us to the fog eventually. But this is actually heading towards the actual real-life location of the town of Uux. Now, bear in mind, if you want to play this realistically, no skylines here, guys. No skylines. We're talking about half a dozen houses splattered around and a dock. Okay? Pretty much what Uux is. There's barely anything. But, yes. Just bear that one in mind. You know, you can go skyrise if you want to. If you really want to, why not? Hey, that's what the game's all about. Creativity. And, of course, PMD has used a little bit of creativity to put in the highways. Well, not in exact locations and not the exact sizes, but there we are. It's a creative game. You can do what you like. Anyway, there's a dock. There is actually a dock there in real life where the ferries leave off to go to the mainland Scotland. Got a slight bit of glitching there on the dock front, which in some ways I kind of like because, you know, it could have been worn away via time, but it's just something to notice in case you don't like it. Right, the rail. Now, we've got 2 rail routes, but they don't actually connect. So, you might be inclined to want to put a connection together. Now, PMD doesn't have to do all the work for us, does he? No, probably not. Now, this is nice work. Again, these are nice props. Nice assets to have, these brickwork arches. And they're very, very, very aesthetically pleasing. But there is something I do want to point out here. If you have a look at these arches, right, look at it, let me say, it's just beautifully done. But see how they actually widen up when we get to the river here. Hang on, let me show you this one. So narrow, wide. That's obviously using the move it tool, just to stretch that asset out a little bit, and it is perfectly done. I couldn't have done it better myself. In fact, I wouldn't have even tried. Okay. So anyway, the rail is, let's say, rail over road there, and I'm fine with that. I know I moan about rail over road, but quite often just because there is just rail. Just jumps up over the road, and it doesn't do that normally. Or if it does, it just looks awful. Anyway, we seem to have some trees in the rail there, but we'll go back and have a look at that later. Some slight glitching onto the rail. Not too much there. And then under here, once again, very nicely detailed, and it comes out nicely on the other side. I would have a minor grumble. Once again, not much you could do with the asset provided, but those concrete blocks I would have liked aligned with the highway. But once again, you can only work with what you've got, and that is what we've got to work with. Until people create an even better asset that's even more flexible. Okay, so as we head off now towards the fog, we will have a look at the second highway in a second, rail line in a second. But yes, if you look here, we've got some trees overhanging the rail into the live rot wires there. And I just need to point that out because it's just a minor, tiny weeny detailing problem. Like here, this one we flew over earlier, and yes, just tiny weeny minor grumble. I mean, honestly, it won't affect your game at all, but if you're looking for perfection, then those are tiny things. If we find another one like that, we might have to lose the 5 stars for detailing. This is beautifully stretched out as well. That's going to allow wildlife and rain to roll through there, which would be lovely. Okay, and now let's head off down. This is heading towards Uux, I do believe. We're coming in that direction now. Once again, these bridges, these raised bridges, are just beautifully done and are the highlight of the map for me. Really glorious. And so this rail line, it cuts through the older, and now this, once again, doesn't have to use the same props all the time, and that was nice modern take on the rail bridge, and very, very well done as well. And see how flat this rail line feels, once again overhanging into the wires a 3rd or possibly 4th time there. Just, I mean, minor stuff. Honestly, only I would notice this. You probably wouldn't even spot that, because if you're building your town, you're not even out in the countryside, are you? I don't know. Anyway, another one there overhanging, so that's 4 or 5 now. And then we have this bridge. Now this bridge is nice. Okay, Isambard Kingdom Brunel would be proud of that himself. And I think that's the perfect choice for that span there. Then we head into the tunnel. So let's go to Assetville for today's asset review. Now let's have a look at Asset Corner, and it's... oh, okay, we've got one of these, have we? We're reviewing snow by the looks of it. Anything out to sea? No. Okay, in the city? Anything over there? Oh, come on. Where's the bleeding asset? Huh? Oh, hang on. Did you hear that? Was that... oh, something honking us over here. Let's have a look. Oh, here you are. It's the Christmas delivery truck by MrMiyagi. Let's come down to street level and have a look at this. This is lovely. Down the chimney faster than a flying reindeer. Well, of course. Beautifully done and very funny indeed. Does remind me of a Tesco's delivery van. I'm sure it's based on that as well. Let me have a look at that. Down the chimney express delivery. 1-800. Ho, ho. Red nose. Oh, love it. And speaking of red noses, I also the detailing on this beautiful, clever design. We do have a red nose on the front of the truck as well. Unfortunately, it doesn't light up, but that's difficult. Red nose reindeer from the North Pole. That is a great. No, it's an asset. It's just a live bit of traffic. Let's prove that by sending him off. Very nice. Christmas delivery truck by MrMiyagi, today's asset of the day. Right, now we're having a look at the shipping routes. We've got one that comes in here, avoids the sandbanks, very nicely done. And then we've got one that comes all the way up the main, like if you can call that a strait, I guess. And then one into the bay. So everything's very nicely sorted there. Let's have a look at the water. Now, water flow. No, there's no problem with the water flow either. I knew you were going to expect me to say, big problem. No, everything's fine. The water does flow. We've got quite large flow all the way going down into the sea. Once it gets to the sea, there's not so much to see out there. Hopefully there will already be enough momentum to get the sewage just to spread out and drag out a little, dilute itself a little bit. But that would work for me. Okay, now let's have a look at this map properly, shall we? All the terrain work, etc. First of all, the trees. Now, let's say, I'm not sure if I'm using exactly the correct LUT here. I believe I'm possibly not, but I can't find the exact name in my LUT list, which is very strange. And I've used Owl's LUTs before, and they are beautiful. Very, very nice. But yes, the texturing is excellent, and if you have a look at the detailing in this tunnel entrance, once again, these tunnel entrances are props as well. And it's just nice. It's just nicely chiseled into there, and it just feels realistic. And that's something to be said for PMD, because realistic is what we are after. These, like I say, we've had a look at the rail bridge. Let's have a look at the river. Now, I'm gonna have a minor grumble. I mean, it's so minor. It's pathetically minor. You wouldn't lose a star over this on its own. I'm loving the riverbanks. They are rugged and varied and such. But I think that a little bit more detail actually within the river would have been nice. Like some rocks in this waterfall, for example. Just something like that. Not on the outside, actually within the waterfall. Maybe some rocks within these rapids here. Just poking the head through. That sort of thing. Maybe a little island where it's like not so rapid. Just that sort of thing, I think, would have added something to those rivers. Minor and petty, and I should keep my mouth shut because there's nothing wrong with it at all, basically. I'm just trying to find things to pick at, really, because it's a very nice map. We'll head over here and have a look at, like I say, this little, what's the word I'm looking for there? That's the, where one river reaches the other. I'm losing my head. It's been a long day already, and I'm barely even started. This waterfall's fine. Once again, nice to have seen a couple of extra rocks just forcing the water either side. Not one of these water-friendly rocks, but one that's going to force the water around. That would have been very nice indeed. And if we head up here, this is for me one of the most beautiful parts of the map. Once again, the river, I will grumble about it just not being interesting enough in terms of the actual water. and some detailing in it would have been nice. Maybe some decals underneath it possibly. So it got a bit interesting there with the change of texturing. Then up here, this is nice, this opens up. A little picnic area here would be lovely. Just be careful with the children, don't let them drown. And then it's just beautiful up there. Look at that, that is lovely. Really like this. Very, very pleasing indeed. As we head up towards the fog up this way, the water is starting to taper down, get thinner, as a river or a stream would do. Once again, the realism feels real. The realism is real. How about that? And we'll head up here, and then we will see the water source, and it is up in the fog a little bit, so that hides it slightly, and we've got a little bit of detailing around it, just a hint that actually there's a spring there, rather than it just emerging out the side of a hill, which I like. Okay. And we'll have to have a look at the beaches. Not too much in the way of the beaches, but the beaches in the Hebrides are notoriously white. I mean, they look like, you might look fake, and you'd be thinking this is like Seychelles or something like that. No, really, you want to check out some of the pictures of the beaches up in the Hebrides. They are beautiful. You wouldn't want to go swimming, it's freaking freezing, but it's a beautiful area. And then we've got the Essential Lighthouse. Very nicely done indeed. Very happy with that. And then you've got the jetty out here as well for tying up your boat. And is it an essential lighthouse? Would I? Yeah, I probably would want a lighthouse around about there, to be honest with you. We've got another little island here, a bit too close to the mainland to be a bonbon island. Nice little bit of sand painting there. Oh look, and we've got a shipwreck. Look, the lighthouse is there for a reason, you numpty. Don't go sailing into the rocks. Over here in the fog though, we do have an island that could just about double as a bonbon island. I think I probably still would say no to this if this was offered to me. It's like I say, the Hebrides, I've lived there. It's windy, it's wet, and it's cold 99% of the time. Quite close to the Arctic Circle up there as well. So anyway, might play this as a snowfall map. Ooh, now that'd be something worth checking. Let's just check out the cliff texturing while we're down here before we get on and give this thing some scores. Yeah, very rugged. Very nice. Very nice map. Very nice. Just enough artistic license taken for this to work. Let's find a place to settle down. Where shall we go? How about this bridge? No, I think we'll go with this. These are lovely. These are... Shall we go this side or the light side? I think we'll go the light side. There. And boom. How about that? Okay. Aesthetically, I think you've already know that I'm going to give this 5 stars, so we'll just skip over that one. Detailing. I hate marking down a map that is so beautifully detailed like this. This deserves 5 stars. But we've got some of those trees glitching into the highways, sorry, into the railways. Plus, I think it would... A different LUT would have been more helpful, one which matches, and also having the required items in the Steam Workshop being listed as well as in the collection. But the collection's there, which is very nice. Thank you very much. So 4 stars there. Gameplay potential, can't see any problems with it. I'm going to give that big fat 5 juicy stars for gameplay. Really would like to get my teeth into this one. And I hope you do too. And I think it's worth the BonBonB seal of approval. Wow. Well, thanks for commenting, liking and subscribing and watching, of course. Don't forget to join me tomorrow for another map in the What Map series. And then that'll be the last one before Christmas. Then next week there will be What Maps, but we'll be looking at my best 6 maps from 2017. And I think you really want to be along for that ride because some of them are absolute stonkers. Stonkers, I tell you. See you tomorrow.